Hey guys, back with a new video. Sorry I haven't posted in a while, but today I am drawing a Procreate tutorial about how you can draw this really cool looking space scene. Now, big thanks to Joe Create for giving me inspiration and ideas for this, and I will have a link to the video that I used his ideas from. So, enjoy the tutorial. First thing you're going to want to do is go to plus, and you're just going to create a screen size canvas. Now, I have put a palette down, so you're going to grab in layers, you're going to go to background color, and you're going to go to black here, right here. Then on the first layer, I'm going to select white, just clear that, and you're going to go to calligraphy and monolone. Now you can see what I have here, right? May not be what you want, but I've got spacing at 6, jitter at none, and fall off at none, which gives me this for stroke path. Stabilization I have at 70, and then amount at 63, which gives me this weird effect that the monolone brush has for this. So as you can see, it looks like that. So you're just going to draw a circle in the middle of your screen like this. Make sure you hold your pen at the end, and you'll get some sort of oval shape that you can make some music to. Oh yeah. So to get a perfect circle, you just tap your finger on the screen. So again, you draw with your pen, hold your pen, and then with your other hand, use your finger, and you get a perfect circle. And then the white, make sure you don't hold it, otherwise it'll switch to the previous color. So make sure you're on white, and then just drag the color in, not into the background, but into the circle. But make sure that there's no spacing here, because look, if I have a little space here, and I try to flood fill, it'll flood the whole screen. So make sure that the circle is fully, fixed, so that there's no holes, and then you can drag your color. Now make sure you're on the uniform option, scale it down until it's about 850 pixels. And then make sure that you hit the lines. Actually, no, I'm going to go less than that. I'm going to go to about 650. Because the rings are going to be quite big as well, the planet. So you want to hit the orange line, make sure snapping's turned on. Snapping. And you'll hit the orange lines in the center. And then tap on your cursor when you're done. Go to your layers and create a new one. Now we're going to start with this color here, and you're just going to drag it onto the screen. Now you can go up here, you can go to industrial, and you can use any of these. So for this, I'm going to use Twisted Tree. That's what I like for this. So now you just mess around. We'll start with this color here. I'm using the Apple Pencil, so it's pressure sensitive. So that if I go hard, it's going to look like ugly. But then if I go soft, it'll look fixed and mixed. Rhyme not intended. Sprinkle on this color, like so. And if you want, you can choose, like, say, Rust Decay. Sprinkle some of that on, like so. And you can just mess around with the colors in the palette. Like this, for example. I'm gonna head back to the tree. Sprinkle on that color. If you need to, you can go back to any of the colors. I'm gonna go on to blue, sprinkle a bit of that, and once you're done and you're happy with how it looks, which I am not yet, I had to add on some of this darker color. So once you're happy with how it looks, go to the little wand here, which is adjustments, liquify, and you can just play around with it. Whatever you want. Right now I'm using twirl right with everything maxed like this. I'm just playing about with it, not really caring. And then if you want, you can, didn't want to do that. You can use crystals, sprinkle some of that. You can push this around if you want to. Twirl left maybe. Like so. Distortion maxed. Like so. Once you're happy with how it looks, you can tap off your adjustments, go to your layers, the layer that you just made, tap on that, and press clipping mask. Now this selection here is now on the planet. So if you turn the planet off, you can't see this layer here unless you turn it back on. Grab your cursor, scale it down, not the planet. Don't want the planet to be scaled down. You want this to be scaled down. Like so. Scale that down until you can see the full thing. Like so. So now you can see which side you want to use. So say I want the right side, let's scale this up so that the right side is showing. But if you scaled it up and you realize, oh no, I don't like this side, you can just flip it any way you want, like so. I like it like this, personally. Little mix of yellow, maybe in the top. And when you're happy with it, you're just going to tap on your cursor when you're done. So that would have gotten rid of everything else. Oh, not really. If you want, you can warp it like this. Just make sure no white's showing. I don't really like it though. So I'm just going to undo warp. Okay. When you're ready, you can either tap on the layer and merge down, or you can just pinch the layers together like this. Now, on this layer, swipe it to the left and press duplicate. And then right here, you're going to create a new layer, tap on it, and clipping mask. Now, this layer here, these two layers are very important in a second. So now you're going to select black, and you're going to go to your brushes, airbrushing, soft brush, and then size, I don't know, about 15%. Just going to sprinkle on this color onto the bottom, like this. And make sure that only you can see the top and some of the sides. Make sure it's really dark. If you want to, you can go to Gaussian blur in the adjustments and just blur it. I'm going to go a little bit, maybe about 8%, maybe. If you don't know what it is, you go to adjustments and Gaussian blur. Okay, so now you're going to create another layer, tap on it, clipping mask it. This layer, you're going to change it from normal. You're going to tap on the N here and change it to add. So here's normal, add's right here. And you're just going to grab this color here in the palette. Make sure you're still on the soft brush. Lower the size to about 8-9%. And sprinkle on to the top. Make sure you don't press too hard. Sprinkle a tiny bit onto the top. Like this. Now go to white. If you don't want to use the white in the palette, you can just double tap on the top left. If you want to use black, just double tap at the bottom. And then just right in the middle, just sprinkle on some color like this. Like so. Spread it out if you want. So you should have something that looks like this. So you can barely see the bottom unless you maybe lower the opacity. Like this. Which I'm not going to do because that would just ruin the effect. What I will do though is adjust this a bit because it's a bit off. About there should do. Now on this layer here, you're going to swipe to the left and duplicate it. Now with white selected, tap on it and alpha lock it. Tap on the layer and fill it. Now turn off the alpha lock. On this layer here, you're going to go to the adjustments, Gaussian blur, swipe from left to right. About 30% should do the trick. Now go to layer 1. Make sure that this is on add. And then go to adjustments, Gaussian blur, swipe from left to right till you get this big blur here. Now, because the bottom is where there's no color at all, like it's just black, you can go to your cursor, just move it up, or just scale it down, just move it up. So there's about, you can use freeform if you want, just drag it down a bit. Should be barely any lighting at the bottom, and all of it should be at the top where there's light. If you're still not happy, you can go to your eraser, soft brush, just erase it a bit. Like that. Once you're happy, you can go back to the top, create a new layer, not two, just one. And this is going to be the rings for the planet. So you're going to go to your brush, calligraphy, monoline brush. Make this about, I don't know, 10-12%. And just draw an oval ellipse. And tap your finger on the screen to get it perfectly horizontal. And then let go. And then just, again, make sure that there's no holes in it. Drag it and fill it the color. Grab your cursor and just scale it about the size you want. I want it about here. Make sure that it's to scale with the planet. Now on this layer, you're going to swipe it to the left and duplicate it. Tap on the top one and press invert. Now go up here to your cursor. Go to uniform. Scale this down right here. Okay. And you want it to be equal on both sides. So you want this layer here to be right in the middle of your canvas. You don't want to draw. And then right here on the black layer, make sure that's in the middle of your canvas, and you'll hit the blue line. So that's right in the middle of the rings. And tap on your cursor when you're done. Now go through your layers. Tap on the black layer, select it. Go to your layers. Go to the white layer. Before you go to that, make sure that color fill is turned off so it's white. Select the black layer. Go to the white layer, and press clear. Now the black layer has now disappeared from the white layer. So you can just delete the black layer, and you'll be left with a hole in your lips. Now swipe the rings to the left and duplicate it. Go to your cursor, and with the uniform option selected, scale this down so that you have a smaller one sit inside. It's a really small one. About there. Should do the trick. Now you're going to merge the layers together. Go to your adjustments, motion blur, and push from left to right on your ellipse until they kind of blend into each other. Like something about there should do the trick. I'm going to 47%. Now just grab your cursor, and you don't want them straight. That's pretty boring, isn't it? So you're just going to tilt them slightly. I've gone to about -29 degrees. And you're just going to make sure that the sides are equal. If you want to, you can freeform your rings to make them a bit larger. Like that. I don't want them tilted like that though. So you go back to uniform, scale them down again, and just make sure that you have tiny gaps. Like so. Doesn't have to be perfectly on it, but whatever. I mean, what you could do is you could put them right in the middle of the planet, scale them up if you want to, and then just tilt them from there. And then just adjust it slightly. That might get in the middle. So now you can tap on your cursor when you're done. Now go to your layers. Go to the main planet layer, this one here, the one that's not been blurred, and you're just going to select it. Again, make sure color fill is turned off, otherwise your planet will turn white. And then go back to the rings, go to your eraser, make sure you're on the soft brush, and then just erase this part here. You want to keep this part here. You know, this part, I don't want to erase it, but you can see it. Just because that is the part that's facing us. And the part is now, this part here that we just erased is running behind the rings, the planet. So now once you've done that, you're happy. You can go to make a new layer, tap on it, and clip and mask it. Select black, go to your brushes, airbrushing, soft brush, scale this up to about 15%, and just lightly coat over the back side of the rings, because that's where not a lot of the light is. If you've gone too hard like me, that's what she said, go to your layers, tap on the N, and just lower the opacity so you can just see the rings, like so. If you want, you can just add some extra color to the rings. Nice, now you have that out of the way. Now you can group all these layers together. Swipe on them from left to right. So you're on the layer, swipe on all the other layers from left to right. Like this. group, collapse that down. I'm just going to rename this Planet. Now, just create a new layer. Drag that underneath. Select white. Go to your brushes, calligraphy, monolone. Your brush size has to be a bit small, maybe about 4%. And this is actually going to be the star now, or the sun. So you can just draw another circle like this. And then that kind of looks dumb. So you're going to tap on your screen to get a circle. About there. And you're just going to drag the color in. Then you're going to grab your cursor. With the uniform select, just scale it down. Make sure it's in the middle of your screen. Till you get something about there. If you want, you can scale it up, which I'm going to do. Like this. Make it hidden. Right in the middle. Tap your cursor. Till you get something about this. Now, it looks off-center because of the rings. But don't worry, it's not. Don't worry. So now you're on that layer. You're going to change the blend mode from normal to add. Like this. Go to your adjustments. Gaussian blur. Not yet, actually. You're going to go to bloom instead. And just bloom that once or twice, right? I'm actually going to do that bloom there. Now create a new layer. Drag it underneath layer 9 or 8, whatever it is for you. Now this color here, the yellow one in the palette, you're going to select that. Go to your brushes, airbrushing, soft brush, and turn the size up to about, 25, and then just start painting in this color very lightly until you get around this effect here, like this. Now go to your layers. Once you're happy and create a new layer, then you're going to go to your colors, select white, lower the size to about 15 now, and then just again paint in this color, like so. And then again, you're going to build up this process. You're going to go to layers, tap the plus, tap the N, change it from normal to add, go to your colors, go back to this color here, lower it again to about 9%, and just paint in this color. Now you'll have this really cool looking effect. Now go to your star, and now you can Gaussian blur it. Not too much, so then you get this really nice effect in the sky. Now what you can do is go to layer 10, or whatever it is, for you that you started the first color on, it's the very bottom there. Tap the plus, drag it underneath, so at the very bottom, go to your colors, grab the blue color, stay on the soft brush, increase the size to about, for me it's 50, and then just paint so that you get this really nice blue effect in the sky. See, it goes from really warm to about greenish color, which is actually in space, but you just can't see it because of the dumb atmosphere. And then, well, not dumb. And then you get this nice blue effect. Now, if it's too bright for you, you can just go to your layer, tap the end, just lower the opacity. But for me, if you change it to add, it's a little different. So just keep it as it is. Then you're going to go back up to the top, create a new layer. Then what you can do is you can go to your colors, select white, go to your brushes, go to, what are we on right now? Okay, so go to luminance, flare, lower the size a bit, and just tap in your screen. Now, right now, you want to, after that, go to your layer and change it to overlay. Now, whatever color it is on, the flare will turn to that color. So if it's blue, it'll turn blue. If it's yellow, it'll turn yellow. So you're just going to position that right on your star, about there. So again, make sure it's centered with the orange line. Tap on your cursor when you're done. Now you have this lens effect, right? Now what you can do is you can go to blue, the blue layer you created, create a new layer, like that. And you can go to your brushes. You can go to glimmer. So I've adjusted mine so you can see. So I have spacing and jittering maxed. Well, almost maxed. Yeah, maxed. Fall off is about 50. And then stabilization, it's everything off. That gives you this really nice spread, and you can tap really light to get smaller, dim ones. So now you can just sprinkle these. If you drag and you get this really weird effect. So you can just drag it if you want. So just fill one side of the screen like this. Once you're happy with it, go to your layers, swipe it to the left and duplicate it. Go to your cursor, not eraser, flip it vertically and or horizontally. Just drag that across so that's still meeting this layer. So I'm actually rotate it 45 degrees and then just adjust it from there. So it's about here. So it's merging in right to your other layers. Now you can pinch them together. Swipe it to the left and duplicate it again. Flip it vertically for me. Again, make sure that they're touching and then just drag it across. Now pinch those together and create a new layer by duplicating it. Now I'm going to flip this horizontally and just move it across. I'm also rotate it a bit. Size it up. Now pinch those together, swipe to the left and duplicate it. Just fill that side more. Pinch them together. Swipe to the left and duplicate it one more time. And then just scale this down, just shove it into the bottom if it's not light, if it's not covered in stars. So I'm going to freeform, just drag that. So they might turn into weird looking oval things, but that's fine. Redo that. And then just pinch them together. Now you can swipe on all your layers, group them together, collapse it, and call it sky. Now if you pinch with 2 fingers and go full screen with 4, like so, this is what you should end up with. Thank you for watching this tutorial. Big thanks from Joel Create for basically giving me inspiration for drawing, and I forgot the word, but I'm using some of his ideas for the planet and the star in his 60th video for drawing Procreate. I'll have the link in the description. And I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video, whenever that will be.